Hello and welcome. Welcome to this episode of Create Your Career Easily. I'm your host, Amanda. I'm a career coach and very excited to connect with you. I help you with landing a new job, landing that promotion, being advanced in your career, particularly if you're in marketing, fundraising, and or communications. If you're a career changer, then stick around. There's plenty of great tips and hacks in these series of episodes, whether you're watching it live or listening to it as a podcast. There's plenty accessible to you. If we're meeting for the first time, like I said, I'm Amanda, career coach, have been career coaching for 10 plus years, both on and offline. So through being a career coach online, as well as mentoring people in roles, whether it be in fundraising, whether it have been in nursing, which was my previous career, whether it's been supporting colleagues who have reached out and provided guidance there as well. So that's where my experience comes from if we're connecting for the first time. So this episode, really excited to dive in deep on this episode with you. So let's make a start. So why being turned down for a job is the best thing? It's a mindset shift in and of itself, recognizing that it's the best thing. And when I say the best thing, it happened for a reason. There's things that you may never know, and there's things that you may find out later. And when I say things that you'll never know in terms of the organization, how it's run, the culture, uh, financials, for example, in particular areas, the job itself, like there's things of that that you may never know, and or of that you may find out later that you actually dodged a bullet. So whilst it is disappointing that you didn't land that job when you went for that interview, it happened for a reason. So whether the person they decided to go with was more qualified, if that's what they were looking for, maybe it was about the integration into the team, the right kind of personality. Maybe it's about communication style. Maybe they wanted someone with more experience, particularly say in marketing with writing appeal letters and appeal campaigns, for example. Maybe they wanted someone brand new, fresh into donor services, for example. I'm using examples through having mentored clients and through my own experience as well. But it really does depend what the employer is looking for, what's going to fit in their team, the direction that they're going in terms of the team, the organization, their metrics, all of that. And personalities. Personalities play a big part. And it's awesome when a hiring manager has that awareness and understanding of their own team and who would be a suitable fit, a suitable personality, as well as competency levels as well. Because as we know, that can have a flow on effect when it comes to productivity, team dynamics, absenteeism potentially can have a hit. So it really does have a flow on effect. And so, like I said, when a hiring manager has that awareness of who would be suitable for their team based on their team members, performance, and obviously the outcomes and direction of the organization, then that's always a blessing. That's a real, kudos to that person, even if, you aren't the person that was chosen for the team. That's actually a good thing because you don't want to be going into a team environment where it's not the right fit. I know that can certainly happen, but when someone has that awareness, a hiring manager has that awareness of who would be the right kind of person to be in the team, to sit in that seat, to work with those other colleagues, to communicate with them, to get the job done, that is a blessing. So you're not getting that role. Yes, it takes a hard hit. You're like, oh, I really would have liked to have worked at that organization, but it didn't happen for a reason. It's also a great time to reflect over the interviewing process. Like, what was it really like? Like, how did the people communicate with you? What was your experience like from when you first received notification that you were successful for the next step? What was that process like? Whether it was automated, whether it was conversation, whether it was a combination of all of those, take the time to reflect and actually feel into what it was like. You know, not getting that job can be a really good thing. Maybe you reflected, you went, yes, I really want to do that particular role in fundraising, in marketing. But you know what? When I take a moment to reflect on the interview, perhaps, and this is an example that I use, and it is a real life client example, is perhaps you go to the interview and it's a smaller not for profit, and the person that's actually going to be your team manager is too busy for the interview. And so the person who interviews you is actually the person leaving for the role. It's, confronting to hear, but that can happen. I've known it to happen, as I shared with you. And so the person that you would be working with is not even present for the interview. They've handballed it for whatever reason to the person who is leaving. So rather than having two people, they've got one person doing the interview. Is that really the kind of environment that you want to be in? Is that really the kind of manager that you want to work with? It's a great insight into that. So reflect over the whole process and see that there can be those blind spots that you become aware of. Now, if the hiring manager had said, look, something has come up, I'm terribly sorry, we're not able to proceed with the interview on this day. I would still absolutely love to interview with you, and I want to be present and part of it and get to know you. Is it possible to reschedule? When are you free? All these times, and then the choice is with you. That lands so much better. It shows that the hiring manager, who would potentially be your boss or someone you would connect with, report to, or work alongside with predominantly, that shows you very much their character. And you'll be like, okay, great, I can really see that, this could work. And you get to see how they do work. So that example I gave you, a client whose hiring manager was too busy to proceed with the interview, and then the interview was the person who was actually leaving the role. And they shared that person that was interviewed, you could sense that it was a little bit awkward, it was a bit embarrassing, and is that really the kind of position that you want to be in? So look at the interview process. Maybe there are other signs in terms of the interview, in terms of personalities, and in terms of how things were communicated, how they communicate amongst themselves, and to ask yourself the question, is your direct line manager, your boss, your leader actually present in the interview? If they are, awesome, you've got a great insight. If they're not, why not? Like, are they away on annual leave? Has something come up? Or is it something else that, they don't have time? Like, that's really valuable insight. So not getting that job is actually, it's a blessing. It's the best thing, because that shows you so much. And I'm so passionate about, sharing this particular topic with you. And I know that it's out there in terms of other career coaches do it, but more light needs to be shined on it. You not getting that job from that interview is a good thing, is a blessing. It can be hard to pick that up in the beginning, but so much reveals itself to you in that interviewing process. And when you take the time to reflect on it, it's like, ooh. So that was today's episode. And yeah, would absolutely love to connect. So feel free to join the Create Your Career Easily newsletter. And yeah, if you're looking for more one-to-one support, by all means, check out, pop me a message, and let's connect. Check out and connect, and send a message through, and we can have a conversation and go from there. But yeah, look at those experiences, learn from them, know it's a blessing and the best thing, and it sets you up for success for the next one. You can see those signs straight away. Until next time, thanks so much, and bye for now.